Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namaha Namo Pankajaya Namo Pankaja Malini Namo Pankaja Nesam Pankajam Om Gyanatisya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshukam Meditam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachal Pangam Lakshmayate Girim
You need a chair?
Bhadamaham Vande Shri Gurave Namaha Paramadhandamadhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Priyasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamimiti Namane Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Vacharadeshatharini Vanchakalpatarubhishya Kripa Sindhu Yadivasya Patitanam Vaishnavi Namo Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasati Gaura Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Yonta Pravishya Mama Vachakimam Prasutta Sanjivaya Takila Shakti Dhara Swadhamana Anya Shavasta Charana Shavana Tvagadi Pranamamo Bhagavate Purushaya Tubhyam Katanchana Smrite Yasmin Duskaram Sunkaram Khade Vismrite Viparitam Syat Shri Chaitanya Namam Hare Krishna. Thank you to everyone for coming for this Bhagavatam class. I'm feeling overwhelmed to see all of you. And whenever I come to the Bhaktivedanta Manor, my heart is filled with deep gratitude for many devotees, especially for Shuchadharma Prabhu and Kulangana Mataji, our, of course, Pranavasa Prabhu, and now Shaka Mataji and Vishnu Prabhu invited for the mango stand. So many devotees here, they have always encouraged me. I came here first time 20 years ago, and I feel the last 20 years many important things in my life have been shaped because of the experiences I got here. And especially two things I got from Bhaktivedanta Manor, for which I'm eternally grateful. One is the devotees have given a lot of love and encouragement. And secondly, timely guidance and feedback, which has helped me tremendously. So, I feel blessed that all of you consider me as part of this community and you have given a lot of love. Thank you so much. So, as a service to all of you today, I would like to share something very important from Srimad Bhagavatam. There are 6 practices which all of us can actually do in our daily life. The 6 practices from Srimad Bhagavatam for a fulfilled life. Or put in other words, today we are going to discuss the 6 practices that Srimad Bhagavatam encourages, which can help us live effectively in this world. If you note here, I didn't say happiness or happy living. I'm speaking about effective living or a fulfilled life. Because of, I'm not using the word happiness because of 2 reasons. One is happiness is so flickering and so fleeting that it's not worth talking about how to be happy because happiness keeps coming and going like seasons. So therefore, effective living or fulfilled life, purposeful living is more important. And second reason why I'm not talking about happiness is because happiness is a byproduct of a fulfilled life. When we have something deeper than what the mind and senses can experience, then happiness becomes a byproduct. Even if you're going through misery, there is an undercurrent of deep contentment, deep belongingness with Krishna. There is a deep sense of shelter that devotees have felt, although their life has been chaotic around them. So there is something Srimad Bhagavatam can do which is ineffable. You cannot express it in words. There is a deep sense of shelter that is beckoning you, that is calling you. I request you to listen to this with an open heart. So these are the 6 practices which are mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam for effective living. Hare Krishna. So now when you are hearing this, many times, there are 2 ways of hearing Bhagavatam. This also I want to share right now. One is we come to a Bhagavatam class or we read Bhagavatam in a space of struggle, which means I have this problem. I want to sort out my life. I want clarity. I want control. I'm struggling so much. This is a space in which many of us approach scriptures, Bhagavatam class, temple, devotional service. There is a space of struggle. There is another space which is the other end of the spectrum where pure devotees are. They are in the space of surrender. They are like, when they read Bhagavatam or they chant or they hear classes, they are like, Krishna, whatever you want to reveal to me today, please reveal. Srimad Bhagavatam, I will come to you. Please tell me what is left for me so that I can serve you and serve the world. They are in the space of receiving. And they want to be a puppet in the hands of Krishna. And they want whatever Krishna wants to reveal to them, they are ready to listen. And the other end of the spectrum, where I consider myself also, and many of you, I think we can all consider ourselves at the other end of the spectrum, where we approach Srimad Bhagavatam in our space. But there's a middle ground we will reach today, where some time of the day we should be in the surrender space. At least some time in the day we should forget about my problems. I want to figure out my life. I need control. I need clarity. Just forget it. Krishna will take care. So the struggle space is the head space. We have to understand Bhagavatam through analysis, which is needed. Connection with all the verses, everything is needed. But also there's a surrender space, the heart space, where I simply receive Srimad Bhagavatam as not different from Krishna. So with that, we will discuss the 6 principles or 6 practices. Actually, we can practice them. So because I cannot complete all the Srimad Bhagavatam, there are so many verses in Srimad Bhagavatam. We will go crazy, 18,000 verses. So what I will do, I may not be able to finish. So I'll briefly summarize what are the 6 practices. Then if you don't complete it, please you go back home with the 6 practices. The first 6, which is all pervading in Bhagavad Gita also and Srimad Bhagavatam also, the importance of practicing tolerance. If you want to be happy, practice tolerance. And nobody teaches us this in this world. Gita also Krishna says, Matra Sparshastra Kante Shita Ushna Sukha Dukkada Agama Pairo Nitya Stam Yadikshasva Bhara. Tolerate. Tolerate not just distress. Tolerate happiness also. Tolerate happiness. Don't jump around like a monkey when you are happy. I remember I took one of my friends who was getting married. One of the boys was preaching to, and he knew my Guru Maharaj very well. So I took him. He was screaming. And I said, Maharaj is getting married tomorrow. And he said, Maharaj, please bless me. So then Maharaj said, please don't go crazy just because you're getting married. So it's okay, he's super. So tolerance is first. And you see, tolerance is very important because from childhood we are taught, if you see psychology of our guidance we have got from childhood is, we always seek to increase our pleasure and reduce our misery. That's how we've been trained. Whenever we're uncomfortable, we want to be immediately comfortable. I want relief, I want happiness, which is natural. At the same time, we also need training on how to embrace pain. You need to learn to live with pain and misery. Tolerance is extremely important. There is a saying in Hindi, जहर मरने के लिए थोड़ा सा, पर जिंदा रहने के लिए बहुत पीना पड़ता है. Poison, we just need a little to die, but to stay alive, we need to drink a lot of it. So that's life. Tolerance is the first practice which is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam many times. And many times we bypass it. We think, no, KC will make me happy. I just have to chant and dance, I'll feel happy. Yes, Krishna consciousness will give happiness, but it's a paradox. There is happiness in KC, but also we have to learn to tolerate, learn to embrace it. That is first. Second, okay, if I embrace pain, tolerate, I'll go crazy one day. The pain will explode like a volcano. So therefore, the second practice mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam repeatedly in all the cantos is seek something higher or have a philosophical inquiry, have a mood of asking questions, not about how to make my eating, sleeping, mating, defending better, but about what is the goal of life? What is life? Have a philosophical inquiry spirit of asking about deeper questions in life. This is a very important practice we need to have if we want to lead an effective life. We learn to transcend our petty troubles that the mind uses. Second practice. And then this ultimately is a nourishment for the head. Philosophical inquiry can lead us to speculation and constantly, yes, we will become a jnani. Therefore, Bhagavatam repeatedly mentions a third practice. Along with the head becoming strong, the third practice is the heart should experience Krishna. Especially you see in Bhagavatam, so many times it is mentioned, remember Krishna's lotus feet. Constantly this practice is encouraged. Third canto, 10th canto, so many prayers. In fact, all the prayers you see. No? Remember Krishna's lotus feet, the pinkish hue on his lotus feet with tulsi, chandan. See the form, close your eyes, take that form in your consciousness. This will satisfy your heart. What are the three practices? What is the first one? Embrace pain, tolerate. But tolerate can be difficult, so do two other things. What is the second one? Philosophical inquiry. And third is remember Krishna's lotus feet and nourish your heart. Is that okay? So three things. Then, okay, I remember Krishna's lotus feet, but when I sit down and meditate, I remember Krishna's lotus feet. But I also have my lower nature. And although I'm coming closer to Krishna, I fight with other devotees. I get bewildered sometimes. I'm not sure if it is my mind cheating me or my heart. Sometimes you're not sure about the mind and the heart. You experience it. We don't know whether it is the heart yearning for something or the mind troubling. We can't understand. So therefore, we need higher intelligence, which is the fourth practice. Bhagavatam repeatedly tells us to take shelter of scriptures. Bhagavatam, Ramayana, Mahabharata. Read or hear scriptures regularly. This is the fourth practice. And then you see that the fifth practice is, okay, I read scripture, but I get confused. Sanskrit, I don't understand. So you will also see the Srimad Bhagavatam repeated emphasis on having a guru, a teacher who will guide us in the practice of Krishna consciousness. Because guru makes it relatable to us. And finally, Many of us may also get the challenge that we may not have access to Guru, or Guru may be giving us spiritual things, but we also we are struggling in our lives. So what we need is not simply scriptures and Guru, we also need community, tradition, parampara, or a culture. So that also is the sixth practice, being connected to a community. So like these are the six practices that the scriptures encourage us to have in our lives to lead an effective, fulfilling life. I'll summarize what are the six. First is tolerance. Second, philosophical inquiry. Third, remembering Krishna's lotus feet. Fourth, scriptures. Yeah. Study of scriptures. And fifth, the shelter of a guru who will teach us the scriptures. And last, community, tradition, parampara, or sadhus, basically overall, not just guru and shastra, but also sadhu. Sadhu means other devotees. These are the six. So now regarding tolerance, one of the most amazing verses in the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is Prahlad Maharaj is talking to his father, Lord Narasimhadev, he's offering prayers. And this is one of the most amazing verses you find in the Bhagavatam. He's telling, Yanmai tunadi sukham mitacham kandu yanena karayo vivadukka dukkam tripti neha kripa bahudukha bhaja kandu tivan sijam vishayeta dhira. He says that this world is a place where people are constantly seeking sense gratification, sex life. Yanmai tunadi grihame. One who is attached to sense gratification and is only thinking of sex life or sense gratification. Bhagavatam is a strong language. Everywhere you Sukadeva Goswami, he just uses no words. In fact, he begins the class. Imagine a speaker beginning the class by saying, so all of you are dogs, pigs, as well as camels. That's how Sukadeva Goswami begins. Shravit para ushtra khare samstata purusha pashu nayat karana tato peto jatu nama gadar. If you don't hear about Krishna, you're a dog, as people. So we should hear it happily. Oh, yes, it's loving instructions coming from a pure devotee. So, he's saying, Prahlad is also saying, yeah, and method means sex life. There are two topics which we never talk about, sex life and our death. And Bhagavatam attacks, directly confronts these two topics. Everywhere we see Bhagavatam talk about death and sex life. So he's saying, Yanmai tunadi grihamedi sukham. There is happiness in sex life, but tucham. Tucham means insignificant. Not only it is insignificant, sense gratification. Whenever we seek pleasure, now this is a generic word, pleasure. Whenever we seek pleasure, the principle is kandu yanena karayo ivadukka dukkam. The example is given of an when you scratch the itch. Thank you. But then what happens? Because you scratched it, then the itching becomes stronger. And then what do you do when the itching becomes stronger? We scratch it more. And we get little relief again. But as we get relief, the itch becomes stronger and it finally becomes, there's rashes and pus is generated. So all this misery could have been avoided if we had practiced tolerance in the initial stage. You start scratching, then itching more, then scratching more, and eventually, ivadukka dukkam. We wanted happiness, but instead of happiness, we got dukkha. In fact, in third canto, we see Vidura telling Maitreya Rishi, amazing verse. Actually, it is so true even today. He's saying, Sukhaya karmani karoti loko nate sukham va niditaramam va vindeta bhuya tateva dukkham nayatra yuktam bhagavan vadenam. He says, my dear Maitreya Rishi, I am amazed that we are all working hard for what? Sukha, happiness. Sukhaya karmani karoti loko. We work hard for happiness. But what do we get? Nate sukham. We don't get that happiness. So we think, okay, I didn't get what I expected. Okay, let me at least get relief from the suffering. See, there is a difference between positive happiness and relief from suffering. It is like coming from -5 to 0 and then going to +5. Initially, we wanted to come to +5 from -5, but we now say, okay, I can't get +5, at least let me come to 0. But what does Vidura say? Sukhaya karmani karoti logo nate sukham va niditharamam va. First, we don't get sukha, we don't even come to 0. Then what happens? Vindeta bhuya tatayeva dukkham. We go to -7. Tatayeva dukkham, we get more dukkham. What is this? Nayatra yuktam bhagavan vadena. Oh my Lord, please explain to me, what is this crazy material world? It's bizarre. So Prahlad is in that same mood, echoing that dukkha dukkham. We want relief and from sense, and we take self gratification. We could have tolerated that urge, but now we are suffering more and more and more. So therefore, now a very important point. Prahlad is not denying that there is pleasure. Sukha is mentioning there is some pleasure. Sense gratification does give pleasure, but the suffering is so much, the price we have to pay is so much, that the great acharyas say, it is not pleasure. I don't know which is the most favorite sweet of all of you. And once upon a time, I used to love jalebis or gulab jamuns. Now, gulab jamun, imagine it's a very beautiful, succulent gulab jamun. It has to be served hot. And it is hot, brownish, and very soft. It's given. And so can we deny it is sweet? It is sweet. But if you are told you have to pay 100,000 pounds for one gulab jamun, what would your verdict be? You would say it is useless. Is it useless? No, it is tasty. You will say, it is horrible. It is not horrible, it is tasty. But you are saying it is horrible because you don't want to pay 100,000 pounds for one gulab jamun. Right? That is what Bhagavatam, whenever Bhagavatam condemns sense gratification, Bhagavatam is not denying that there is pleasure in this world. It is just saying, it is just telling you, understand, Baba, there is the pleasure you are experiencing is not worth the cost that you are incurring. That's why Prahlad is saying, Tripyanti neha kripana. You are a kripana. Kripana means miser. Bhagavatam calls whoever is engaging in sense gratification as a miser. Who is a miser? Miser is one who lives very poor so that he can die rich. So we are a miser because we are not making use of what our facilities that we have. We have got such a big wealth of this human form of life. We can achieve so much, but we are trapped in this sense gratification. And so much that seeking of pleasure instead of tolerating, because we are seeking pleasure, what the industry, what the advertising industry is doing, they have trapped us. We are constantly seeking new gadgets, new pleasures. We are being royally fooled. So there was I don't know the name of the scientist, one Russian scientist, many years ago. He did some experiment with rats. They call it Pavlov, I think. So he had the interesting experiment. The rats were kept in a cage, and he created some game, some red button and blue button. So when the rat would press the red button, it would get a shock, mild electric shock. And when the rats would press the blue button, that's the green button, that some food would be thrown from above. And the rat started understanding, if I press the green button, I get food. So it would keep pressing green button and getting food. And then when the rat understood the whole thing, the scientist changed the buttons. He made red would give him food and green would give him shock. So then the rat was confused for some time. After some time, he figured out what's happening. Then he would press only the red button. And the frequency of changing, the scientist increased. So it is very unpredictable. Sometimes red, sometimes green. And eventually, the rat was so engrossed in playing this game of red, green, red, what gives me pleasure, what gives me misery. And figuring out that, and he quietly opened the door of the cage. And the rat refused to run away. The rat was happy in his game of seeking pleasure, reducing misery. Seeking pleasure, reducing misery. He couldn't escape. So we are like that. We are miserly because we have an opportunity to run out of this scale in this material world. We can experience something deeper, but we are trapped by our own mind, which is seeking senses, which is seeking pleasure. Therefore, he's saying you're a miser. Miser is it basically, it's just imagine in India, one of the richest men is Ambani's. So talented, potential, business sense. If somebody is very intelligent, has a lot of capacity, capability, and if he works as a simple, servant or a peon in some small clerical work in some office, you'll say, what are you doing here? You're capable of something so much more. Right? Similarly, we are capable of so much more. We have these faculties, human faculties. But we are just engaging in sense gratification and thinking of sense gratification. Therefore, Prahlad says, Kandu Tivan Manasijam Vishayeta Dhira. Please understand, learn. Kandu Tivan means learn from this. He's not telling the Lord, learn from this. He's praying to the Lord and he's saying in that mood that we have to learn from this. Kandu Tivan. And what we have to learn from all of this experience that we have gone through? He says, Manasijam. All the pleasure we seek in our life is simply speculation. It is Manasijam. It is not real. It's some mental tricks happening. The real happiness is eluding us. It's elusive. So don't be fooled by this. That's the Srimad Bhagavatam's verdict. Srila Prabhupada would often say, I've heard many sannyasis also say this. What is happiness in this particular world? Happiness is simply imaginary. And what you imagine, sense gratification, that imagination is much, much more than what you actually experience. What is that? The material world over promises and under delivers. I had a very personal experience of this, little embarrassing but funny. I grew up in a South Indian family, eating dosa every day. Dosa was staple diet for us. So anytime hungry, dosa. And that's like, Western country, they have bread. Bread is common. It's lying everywhere. Bread is like very common. For us, dosa was very common and very frequent. Of course, Sundays we would have a dosa party. So dosa was like very common. So what happened? I went through one health regimen. So 60 days of practice on, a new diet system I followed, where I had to do fasting, intense fasting and cleansing. So 60 days, but I cheated on 21 days. So I followed only for 40 days. And now somebody who is a foodie who likes to eat a lot and then suddenly I'm not eating anything, just drinking juices and fasting, cleansing. So the craving began to rise so much. So one day something very funny happened, and I would initially get hunger pangs, headaches, but the doctor had told me just tolerate for a few days and you'll get used to it. So then at one point of time I got used to it and I was comfortable, but that craving was not going. And one night, the whole night, what dream I had? I tell you this. I had a dream that my mother is making dosas. And thin that urad dal ka dosa, and then I am eating that dosa with that chutney and hot sambar. And that experience of that taste of dosa, how the dosa satisfied me. Where? In the real world? The dream world was so real. It was so enjoyable that even now, if I close my eyes, I can remember that dream. And I can remember that experience of enjoying that dosa. In fact, that experience was greater than the real world eating dosa. Because in real world, when you enjoy something inordinately, then you also get a reaction for it. Some backache or something, or acidity, so many complications. But in dream, you simply enjoy. In the dream, I didn't wake up the next day with some problems. So what I'm trying to say is, that experience is still there in my memory of the dream. That's how powerful this mind is. Pulling us for sense gratification, but actually there is nothing. So what we enjoy in the mind is generally more. So therefore, Bhagavatam appeals to us. Learn to tolerate. Embrace, learn the practice of embracing pain. Not that you tolerate everything and anything. That's not the point. The point is, don't avoid the principle of tolerance just because you want to be happy, because this is a trap. Pleasure seeking is a trap. But the question still remains that if I keep tolerating, my emotions will explode one day, I go crazy. Therefore, Bhagavatam, Lord Krishna tells Uddhava in the 11th canto, don't simply tolerate. Also have a philosophical inquiry. Keep asking, what is happening? Why am I getting this craving? What is life? What is death? Who am I? Why bad things happen to good people? Does God exist? Have these questions in your mind. So this is a beautiful verse in the Uddhava Gita, where Lord Krishna tells Uddhava, Labhva sudurlabhamidam bahusambhavante manushyamardadamanityamapi hadira turnamyate tanapate danumrityu yavan nishreyasaya vishaya khalu sarvatasya. Lord Krishna is telling Uddhava that you have a blessing, you means human beings. Labha sudurlabhamidam bahusambhavante. After great endeavors, you don't get that, and that's what you've got. What is that? Manushyam. You got a human form of life. What is special about human form of life? Manushyam. Arthadam anityamapi hadira. It is arthadam. Human life is full of meaning, but anityam. It is temporary. Look at the paradox. It's full of meaning, but you can't be complacent and you can't say, okay, it is full of meaning and I have my whole life. No, anitya. Any time this life can end. So now is the time to make that philosophical inquiry. Apihadira. Again, Krishna is telling Buddha what Prahlad is saying. Apihadira. Tolerate all these cravings, sense gratification. And then what you should do? Death is going to come. But before death comes, immediately work on realizing the goal of life. Nishreyasaya. Seek ultimate liberation. And you may say, no, but I want enjoyment. I want self-gratification. So Krishna says, Vishaya khalu sarvatasya. Arey Baba, it is available in all species of life. Everybody is enjoying. You don't worry. You will get it. Don't be so desperate for enjoyment. Enjoyment is available for everyone. Cats, dogs, ants, pigeons. Everyone is enjoying. It's always available. Focus on something deeper. Anityam. Human life is, anytime it can end. In Worli, in Mumbai, where I come from recently, there was an interesting news. One 90-year-old man, he goes for his morning walk every day. In the morning, he took his 4-year-old great-grandson with him for a walk. Just, giving love to his great-grandchild. So as they were crossing the street, a vehicle, he was having the child in his arms. And the vehicle hit them so badly that the child died on the spot and nothing happened to that old man. So he is completely unscared. So, what is life? My God. 4-year-old child died and a 90-year-old man is still healthy and strong. So can we guarantee that I won't die? I remember in one class I heard one teacher say, and I was new devotee. He said, can anyone here say that you will not die for the next 1 week? Confidently. And I was, sometimes you want to win an argument. So I was telling in my mind, I'm confident I can stay alive till tomorrow morning. Nothing can happen. I can take up the challenge. But it is so scary to raise your hand and say that. Because so many times we have put our foot in our mouth. And we really don't know what's going to happen. We don't know about when death is going to come. We all remember our birthdays, but none of us know our death days. So that's the reality. Anityam, anytime it can end. So, turnam vate tanapate tanumrityuya. Don't wait, don't delay. So, what do we do then? Have a curiosity mindset. Make this inquiry. Or, I see one of the best things you can do if you want to be really happy in KC. Have this I'm trying to develop this curiosity mindset. Curiosity mindset means whenever I hear something which confuses me or which I don't understand, I just ask, I try to be curious. What is there in this? How come Srila Prabhupada is saying this? Instead of having a challenge, there is two kind of mindset. One is cynical mindset. Cynical means critical mindset. Hey, this must be an exaggeration. That's a cynical mindset. Curiosity mindset is, what is it? How can Srila Prabhupada say? Like I was hearing on class of Srila Prabhupada recently. Srila Prabhupada says, so we Hare Krishna devotees, we can chant Hare Krishna whole day. We never get tired. I said, really? I'm chanting for 16 rounds and I'm struggling. So, okay. Then I rewind it, I rewind, then again play. I heard it a few times, and then I thought, okay, let me enter that space. How can Srila Prabhupada say this? That means he's experiencing something in the holy name which I am not, and I want that. That is curiosity mindset. If I say, oh, this is too high, this is not for me, then it becomes cynical. Instead of dismissing what a pure devotee is saying, we need to have a curiosity mindset, and that really helped. And that is how we all were when we were children. But somehow, as we grew up, and as life started treating us harshly, not harshly, that's how the world life is, but we were not ready for it. So we became cynical. You see, children have this curiosity mindset. They all keep asking questions. So when we have a curiosity mindset, everything will be revealed to us. You know the story of Gautama Buddha? Prince Siddhartha became Gautama Buddha because he asked this question. He was one that he asked his servant to take him out of the palace, and he saw somebody dying, and he asked, what is this? He saw birth, death, old age. You know the story? It's a long story. And then he slowly realized, oh, this is life. What is suffering? What is death? Because he kept asking this question, he had this curiosity mindset. He became the enlightened one, Buddha. One of India's former, very, very famous president of India, Dr. Abdul Kalam, have you heard it? He written a very nice book called Ignited Minds. So Abdul Kalam was very popular with children because he was a scientific bent of mind. So he says he has done some 5,000 seminars for children. And he used to go to different schools, and thousands of children would be sitting there. And he says he was very popular with the children for question answers. So once in a big auditorium, one child asked him a question. Who is the world's first scientist? And his answer received a thunderous applause. He said, a child is the world's first scientist. And he has many experiences in that book about what I learned from that book and reading that was how we need to have this inquiry spirit. Never give it up as we get older. He writes about one incident where in one class, one child asked, he is very expert in answering. But he says, once one child asked me a question, I could not answer that question. The child said, sir, there is no water in Tamil Nadu. No, there is no water in Rajasthan. And there is so much water in Brahmaputra, which is in Assam. So why not transfer that water from Assam to Rajasthan? All problems will be solved. He was thinking, how do I tell the child that the river is in a particular state, but transferring that river water to another state requires a conflict between center and state. It's a center versus state issue. So how do I explain this? And it's not possible. But for the child, it is possible. He has this mindset. So he's explaining two concepts. His possibility mindset should be there, not cynical mindset. It's possible. Oh, whole day I can chant Hare Krishna and not get tired. It is possible. I want to know what it is. Srila Prabhupada is saying, scriptures are saying, there must be something. So if we cultivate that, that's what Krishna is telling us. We need to cultivate that. And self-gratification, khalu sarvatasya, everybody is enjoying. It's not a big deal. And that nest was made of hangers. Eating, sleeping, mating, defending. So where did these birds, did they go to some engineering college and learn civil engineering, go to make a house? Did they go to Oxford, Cambridge? They know how to defend, how to make houses. It's amazing. So eating, sleeping, mating, defending is not a big deal. So therefore Krishna is telling Uddhava, Nishayasaya Vishaya. Come on, speak something higher, have a philosophical inquiry. But philosophical inquiry ultimately is in the head space. And that's also not sustainable. We'll become very dry jnanis. Philosophical inquiry doesn't give that mellow, that happiness. Therefore, the Bhagavatam gives us there's a beautiful section, so many prayers in Bhagavatam where we are encouraged to explore the heart space. Come on. Because at the end of the day, we all need to feel a sense of belongingness. We want to feel safe. We want to feel sheltered. We want to feel we are at home. And Bhagavatam says that is possible. So in the 10th canto, Lord Krishna is still not appeared in the world. He is in his mother's womb, Devaki's womb, in the prison cell of Kamsa. So there, the Devta, the demigods are offering prayers to the womb of Devaki. So they are teaching us how we can also experience this, what is it called? This heart space. We can experience the sweetness and the joy, the rasa of Krishna prema. Then the head and heart will be balanced. Vayam vujaksha kila sarva dhamni samadina veshita chetaseke tvarpadapotena mahatkritena kuruvanti bhovatsapadam bhavati. The Devtas are saying that, my dear Lord, Ambujaksha, you have such beautiful lotus eyes. Akhila Sattva Dhamni, you are incredible potencies you have. But what we need to do, my dear Lord, which means all of us need to do, Samadhina Veshita Chetaseke. Just close your eyes, meditate on the Lord's form. What does it exactly mean? Tvarpadapotena mahankritena. Remember Krishna's lotus feet. You know the soft lotus feet of Radha Gokulananda? Remember that. Why? Kuruvanti go vatsapadam bhavati. The great devotees in the past have crossed over this ocean of suffering, bhavavdim, by simply remembering Krishna's tiny, beautiful lotus feet. This is amazing. This is, generally we think boat is small, tiny boat. And this world is compared to an ocean, huge ocean. And we are encouraged to remember Krishna's lotus feet and get out of this material world. Repeatedly, this is another interesting thing. Actually, we can have, once I remember, we had a 2-hour class only on this theme, how this world is an ocean. I mean, Bhagavatam has so many verses where graphically this world is described an ocean in great detail. What happens in an ocean? You are lost. If you're in the middle of an ocean, you get lost. And you don't know where to go. So Bhagavatam repeatedly says, you are lost in an ocean. But if you remember Krishna's lotus feet, that becomes a boat which can help you cross across this ocean. Once I remember I was in this God-forsaken place, crazy Western Australia, Perth. Nobody goes there. And I don't know why I landed up there. And then my friend who had hosted me, he said, Prabhu, I'll take you to the ocean beach. So we were standing at the beach and I closed my eyes and I said, okay, it's Perth. I knew the map. I said, okay, if I stand here and if I walk straight in this water, where will I reach? So I said, remove your GPS, Google. So if we start swimming straight from this point, where will we reach? So he did that and he told me it was someplace in South Africa. And I said, is there any land in between? No, straight. If you go straight, you will reach South Africa. And what is the distance? We calculated. Some kilometers came to some 9,000, some plus kilometers. And then I said, wait, calculate the distance from the bottommost part of India, Kanyakumari, to the topmost, Srinagar. And that was something like 4,000 something kilometers. So no, it was 2.5. Like you go from Kanyakumari to Kashmir, then come back, and then again reach half distance. That is the distance from Perth to that point in South Africa. Can you imagine how much water we are talking about? So imagine you are in the middle of that, somewhere. You don't know where to go. And how much time you will need to swim across. We may think, no, but I can swim. And Bhagavatam scoffs at that idea. The sixth canto, that Devatas are themselves saying, Shvalamulena Tidarti Sindhu, my dear Lord, without your mercy, if we try to cross over this ocean, even if we are expert swimmers, we are foolish. Shvalamulena, can we hold the tail of a dog? The demigods are saying, whoever prays to us to cross over the ocean of material existence, he is holding the tail of a dog to cross over the ocean. That's their humility, and they're praying to the Lord like that. So can a dog can swim, but can you hold the tail of a dog and swim across an ocean? No. So therefore, we need a strong boat. Generally, when you think of a boat, we think Krishna's lotus feet is a boat, but boat is small, ocean is big. But look at the poetic analogy that the Devatas are saying. They are saying, Kuruvanti Govatsa Padam Bhava. This ocean, when we take shelter of Krishna's lotus feet, which is like a boat, the boat suddenly becomes big. The boat becomes so big that the ocean, Govatsa, it becomes as small as water contained in the hoof print of a calf. The ocean is huge. The boat is small. But Krishna's lotus feet is a special kind of boat. When we hold on to Krishna's lotus feet, then that ocean becomes so tiny. That means the boat is much bigger than the ocean. That means if you remember Krishna, then our problems will be dissolved. Because we are much bigger, we are accessing a much bigger reality. This is a very important point. Generally, we are so preoccupied with our problems that we underestimate the power of Krishna, lotus feet as a boat. So just connect with Krishna and let's see how your problems appear insignificant. We generally think a lot about solving our problems. For some time in a day, let us keep our problems aside and let us focus on Krishna, Krishna's beauty, Krishna's mercy, Krishna's love. And then, that ocean has become like this big, a calf's hoof print. In South India, there was a very witty minister called Tenali Rama. He was a minister in the kingdom of Vijayanagara. So once the king announced, he said, I have a riddle for all of you ministers. He made a line on the board. He said, can you make this line smaller without erasing it or without cutting it, breaking it? Without touching this line, can you make it smaller? Nobody could do it. And what did Tenali Rama do? He drew a bigger line. When he drew a bigger line, that line automatically became small. Right? Similarly, you may say, Prabhu, I have so many problems in life. I can't do it. I don't know what to do. I'm suffering so much. Itna problem hai, itna problem hai. Okay, then just get connected with Krishna. Krishna is so beautiful. There is so much variety. There is so many things about Krishna. Then our problems appear insignificant. So this is very, very important. And therefore, don't underestimate Krishna's power. He is Akila Sattva Dham. He has unlimited potencies. And once we experience Krishna Rasa, then life we can live effectively. We will suffer, we go through suffering, all that, that's okay, but we will be able to add value to others' lives. We will be able to contribute, we will be able to bring joy to other people. And that will make us feel, our life is good. This is a very, very important point. Krishna gives us that rasa. That higher taste is the only solution for suffering of this material. And that higher taste. And how do we, a simple example, we all have experience. When we get a higher taste, then the lower taste doesn't attract us. All of you had some very low taste as children. Now that you find it very insignificant because you have a higher taste. When we were children, we grew up in Mumbai, very different kind of social scene there compared to England. So on the street corner there would be these pan bidi shops, where small shops would sell cigarettes. So as children, I remember as a 7, 8, 9-year-old boy playing with, we had a game where we had to collect cigarette packet covers. And every cigarette packet had different points. You know? So some cigarette packet will get 10 points, some had 2 points. And there was some had minus points, like Ganesh Chap BDs. They would have. So we used to collect that and then we used to exchange, and I don't know what, I don't remember the game, but I remember it was such a precious possession for us. A cigarette. And you know, when these people would smoke cigarettes, and sometimes the shopkeeper would, the used packet, you would sell 1 cigarette or 2 cigarettes to people, and then you would throw away the cover. And we would go and grab that. And we would think, what a fool the shopkeeper is just throwing away 10 points. Now when I look back, that was our fetish, that was our craze. Now, we don't need it. So the point is, similarly, when we are attached, the thing we are attached to, the evolved transcendentalists, they look at us with pity. And children, they're playing with such stupid things. We need a higher taste. Now, generally, when we speak about Krishna, higher taste, Krishna's lotus feet, meditate on Krishna's lotus feet, and take that lotus feet in your heart. And I've seen devotees saying, Prabhu, I feel very inadequate. You know, all these big devotees, they can remember Krishna, I cannot. It is very difficult. No. Then the very hope-giving verse, the Devatas, when they are praying to Krishna in the womb of Devaki, the next verse they give a lot of hope. They say, no, it is not as difficult as we imagine. They say, Swayam samuttirya sudustaram duman bhavarnavam bhimamadabrā sauradha bhavat padamborvanavamatrate nidhaya yata sadanugraho bhavan. They are saying, oh my dear Lord, Swayam, you have told us so many times in so many places that if we simply remember your lotus feet, all our problems will be solved. Although Sudustaram, this world is very difficult to cross over this ocean. But your boat is a very special kind of boat. It is a sun, it is not simply a boat. It's a very interesting analogy now. First they said Krishna's lotus feet is a boat. Now they are comparing Krishna's lotus feet with the sun. And this material ocean is not an ocean of salt water. They are saying, Bhavarnavam Bhimam. It is an ocean of darkness. So how do you swim across an ocean of darkness? Even if you have a boat, where will you go? You need sunlight. Human, that is Krishna's lotus feet. Krishna's lotus feet, when you meditate, it will become the sun in our heart, and all the darkness will go away. Very beautiful analogy. Again, a dark ocean, a candle will not help. You need sunlight. So he's saying you need the sun, the ocean of darkness. We don't know where we are going, what we are doing, but we need this. And the devotees are very kind. They will help us. Our problem right now is we are in an ocean of darkness. All of us are in darkness. Imagine in a dark room, there is no light. Okay, we could at least be peaceful sitting. But what we are doing in this dark room, everybody has a sword in their hand and everybody is running around waving the sword. What will happen if you are running around with swords in both hands? You don't know where you are going and you are hurting yourself, hurting others. And we cut, we bleed, and there is no experience of Krishna. See, the light comes, the sunlight comes, Krishna Surya Sama, Maya Hoya Andhakar. Jaha Krishna Taha Nai Maya Radhika. We need sun of Krishna. There is one lecturer of Srila Prabhupada in Bombay. He is telling the Indians, all Indians people are sitting. He is telling about Western life. And what an amazing analogy Srila Prabhupada gives. He says, in Western countries, there are lot of nice facilities compared to you Indians. But they don't have Krishna. So they are also suffering like you only. So then he says, he gives an example of sun. He says, sometimes there is no light. So you have nice light, tube lights, floodlights, all this, but no sun. You may have all the light, but all artificial light, but no sunlight. Is that okay? Somewhere there will be a vacuum. So Srila Prabhupada says, similarly, you may have all opulences, facilities, everything. That is like adding light, artificial light, which is needed. But ultimately you need Son of Krishna, that is not non-negotiable. So, I was doing some research on this some years ago. There is an interesting disease in Europe and even in many places in America. It's called SAD, seasonal affective disorder, sad disease. And apparently 45 to 48% of Europeans suffer from this disease at some point of time in their life. Seasonal affective disorder is caused because of absence of sunlight. Now, there is no sun doesn't mean they are living in darkness. I'm sure people in England are playing football, business is going on, there is light. There's light here now, even in night. We have light all the time. But sunlight is not there, there is some problem. Similarly, we may have money, we may have a big house, we may have a lot of savings. That's all like having a lot of light. But not having Krishna is like not having sunlight. And therefore, the Devatas are saying that you are the sun and your devotees like Srila Prabhupada, Adhapra Saurada, they are so good that they are making the sun available. They are making it available for us. Srila Prabhupada easily made, and Srila Prabhupada is telling the people there, we have taken Bhagavatam, we have taken Krishna to America. We have given it to all of them. So the sun is there now. We just have to add Krishna to our lives. And then if you are feeling discouraged, that it is so difficult, the last line of this verse is the most amazing thing I have ever heard in Bhagavatam. The Devatas are saying, Nidhaya yata sadanugraho bhava. Nidhaya yata. They are saying these pure devotees have taken this boat of Krishna's lotus feet and they crossed the ocean of material existence. But as soon as they crossed, if you take a boat and cross the ocean, the boat goes with you, right? But they are saying Nidhaya yata. They took the boat and they crossed the ocean, but I see that the boat is here in the material world, so that I can use it and go to the spiritual world. What a poetic, graphic way of explaining that pure devotees have used the process of hearing and chanting. They have gone back to Krishna, but they have left the process for us so that we can access it. And we have to do the same thing which they did. What did Srila Prabhupada do? Deity worship, chanting, hearing, cooking prasad, feeding devotees. That's what we have to do. Same thing. Now, Bhaktivedanta Puri Maharaj, Bhaktivedanta Thakur's disciple, very senior. I was fortunate and very recipient of a lot of mercy that I could see him, hear from him. So I remember when he was very old, his whole life he was very famous for this seva. Anybody coming to temple, you would only give them prasad. He was a prasadam serving addict. He always wanted to serve prasad to everyone. Even in the last moments, when he was gasping for breath, he was leaving this world, anybody would say, prasad kaya? Prasad. Just such a simple process bhakti is, chanting, hearing, taking care of devotees. So we need to have this faith that Bhagavatam is there, Krishna's lotus feet is there, and it is a boat which will help us cross over this ocean. And remembering Krishna's lotus feet is a great strength. It is a sun which will remove all the darkness. Now the problem also is one more thing. Now the fourth principle, three principles we have discussed, right? Tolerance, philosophical inquiry, Krishna lotus feet. Now the problem is Krishna loves to play hide and seek. You may use all your efforts to close your eyes and meditate on Krishna lotus feet, and still Krishna will be in existence. Therefore, we need the fourth practice, which is scriptures. We need scriptures in our life, and that is what will make things complete. Otherwise, Krishna's lotus feet, how will you meditate? In India, every week there is somebody claiming to be Vishnu, Krishna. So will you meditate on his lotus feet? And so India is filled with God of the week. Every week there is some God coming down. So we need clarity, and scriptures provide that. Lord Chaitanya tells Sanatana Goswami, Maya Mukta Jiver Nahi Swatah Krishna Gyan. Living entity is completely covered by Maya. He cannot understand himself. He cannot understand by his own intelligence who is God. Maya Mukta Jiver Nahi Swatah Krishna Gyan. Jivera Kripaya Kaila Krishna Veda Puran. Therefore, out of mercy for the living entity, Krishna has given us Vedas and Puranas. So with the scriptures, we can get clarity. Not only clarity when you go through suffering, because scriptures tell us what is the suffering, we are able to tolerate. Now imagine there is an hospital. There is a hospital where there are two beds kept, bed A and bed B. Just imagine this scenario. And you see, when you enter the hospital, you see two patients, both are screaming in pain. And you are thinking, both are suffering. Both are suffering. But the difference is patient A, the bed A, the patient, his disease has not been diagnosed. He doesn't know what is his disease. And a lot of experiments have been done. And he's confused. Bed B, the patient, is also screaming in pain, but his disease has been diagnosed. The treatment is started, and when he's going to get cured. So although both are screaming in pain, one of them is better off. Who? Second one. You see how knowledge helps. Knowing the truth, reality helps. Therefore, scriptures are extremely important. So let us not underestimate this. Because our intelligence can be contaminated. But scriptures can be confusing sometimes. Right? Therefore, Bhagavatam, Lord Krishna tells Uddhava very poetically, along with scriptures, we need something else. Videha madhyam sulabam sudurlabam plavam sukalpam guru karnadharam mayanukulena navasvateritam puman bhavavim nataret sa atmaha. He says, you have got this human form of life that is like plavam sukalpam, that's a strong boat in itself. This is the boat by which we can cross over this ocean. But simply having a great boat is not sufficient. You need a plavam sukalpam guru karnadharam. You need a captain of that ship. And Guru is the captain. Guru is needed. Along with Guru, Krishna says, sometimes we get sentimentally attached to Guru. Oh, Guru smiled at me. Hari bol. So therefore, he's saying, Mayanukulena navasvateritam. The captain is needed for the ship, but we also need favorable winds, which will help the ship go smoothly. And he says the instructions I have given and which are present in the scripture, that is a favorable wind. And if you have a strong human life, if you have a good human life with all the faculties, which is a strong boat, you have a guru, and you have opportunity for scripture, which is a favorable wind, and still you are not using this human form of life. Oh, Sa Atmaha, you are committing suicide. Krishna's verdict. That we are committing suicide if we are not using this facility. Because we are occupied with our own problems, and our problems are so tiny. The 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada gives a very graphic example. Brahma's life is how long? 311 trillion years. Srila Prabhupada says, in the sky of eternity, Brahma's life is as brief as a flash of lightning. How long does the lightning last? So that's how long is 311 trillion years. So what is our 60 years of problem that we are carrying in our head? So I think we have taken ourselves too seriously. This is important because sometimes we have this very sentimental kind of, like there can be a conflict of expectations with Guru. This is very serious. Many devotees have gone through this. Like when we are very new, we are useless, we are rascals. So Guru feels compassion on us. So Guru tells us, he will come to our children's marriages, he will name our children, he will give so much affection to us. But why is Guru doing this? Why is Guru giving us so much love? He is compassionate, but also because he wants us to ultimately transcend all of this and take shelter of Krishna. He wants us to chant Hare Krishna, but we are not ready for Krishna because I am living only in my world. So Guru gives us holy name, gives us love. And why we chant Hare Krishna? Because he is so loving and caring. Let me chant Hare Krishna. He is telling me to chant. Do you see what is happening here? Are you seeing the conflict? So Guru's agenda is to give us Krishna. Our agenda is to get love. So somewhere Guru is giving everyone. He is compassionate. He loves and he's going around giving everyone. But somewhere we will feel inadequate if we are only not understanding what he has come to give us. Like that. So anyway, but Guru may not be available and we may get Sometimes Guru leaves the planet. So therefore, the scriptures also say, and simply Guru and scriptures is not sufficient. We also need association of devotees. Tarko pratishtha shutayo vibhinna nasa ऋषिर्यस्य matam na bhinnam dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhayam mahajano yena gata sapantha. Oh, this is understanding scriptures and all the everything about life is like being in a guhayam, being in a deep cave. Very confusing. Cannot understand, so just follow the footsteps of Mahajanas, the great souls, the devotees, be with them. Be in a part of a devotional community. There are 12 Mahajanas, the Bhagavatam says, follow their footsteps. Once one devotee said, Srila Prabhupada, you are the 13th Mahajan. Srila Prabhupada said, you become the 14th. That is the mandate given to us. Become a pure devotee. Encourage everyone to take shelter of Krishna. So like this, we need to take shelter of Krishna and encourage everyone to be part of this beautiful Krishna conscious community. And then if we do that, Krishna will take care and our journey in this material world will be tolerable. And amazing way Krishna takes care. I would like to end with this story and then we can have some questions. You all of you know Jayananda Prabhu, Srila Prabhupada's disciple. The Jayananda Prabhu is there in all Rath Yatra cards. His photograph is always kept. So he passed away from this world in 1977 because of cancer. Years passed. In the year 2007, one Mataji, Kalindi Mataji, she was a worker in a hospice in Colorado. And she would go in civil clothes. She was working there as a professional nurse. But one day she got a realization that why should I hesitate? Let me put on tilak and kanti mala. And let me, because I am giving spiritual thing. I am a Hare Krishna devotee, initiated devotee, Chandramani Mala disciple. So she went to the hospital that day wearing kanti mala, tilak with bead bag. And she was taking care of an old lady who was dying, was leaving her body. So she gave that Ganga Jal, Charanamrita and all that, and she chanted. And that lady, she looked at Kalindi Mataji and she smiled. And she said, Hare Krishna. And then she left her body. And then one middle-aged lady came and first one young boy came, a teenager. And he looked at this nurse, Kalindi Mataji, and said, you have tilak. Hare Krishna. So he said, Mataji said, yes, I am. You know Hare Krishna? And he said, yes. And then he ran inside, called his mother. And his mother came and said, Hare Krishna. So Kalindi Mataji said, yes, you know Hare Krishna? So this lady said, yes, we are, I'm sister of Jayananda. And this lady, you saw, she is the mother of Jayananda. She said, so Kalindi Mataji said, the Jayananda you are talking about? Yeah, Jayananda, who is very famous, who passed away in 1977. 30 years later, see how Krishna's sense of timing, how Krishna takes care. Classic, I mean, and imagine this happened because she went in Dhoti Kurta Tilak. See, Krishna is taking care of all of us. This incident became famous because she went in Tilak and Kanti Mala. Now, if she had not gone, still this Mataji would have got Ganga Jal and she would have got Krishna, but maybe she would not have, this story would not have come in the forefront. But somewhere Krishna is taking care of all of us. Amazing. We need to have that. Krishna is like that amazing director of a movie, who does everything in such a perfect way. In the last 5 minutes, the whole movie, everything falls in place. If you watch a thriller suspense movie, you are wondering what is all this going on, some gun is hanging somewhere, some painting like that, and then the last 3 minutes, 5 minutes, you understand how the bullet was fired from there. That is where it was shown. Everything has a meaning. All the dots are connected, right? That's how Krishna operates. So what a story this is. When I heard this, I was like, wow, because Krishna took care of his mother at the last minute. Krishna protects, Krishna takes care. And when we were young boys, there was a very famous Bollywood actor. I don't know, the older people may remember. Black and white movies, there's a hero called Rajkumar. He was very famous for his very unique dialogues. He would say things like, Jani. Now you would say, Jani, हम तुम्हें मारेंगे, जरूर मारेंगे. वो बंदूक भी हमारी होगी, वो गोली भी हमारी होगी, वो वक्त भी हमारा होगा. Which loosely translates as, dude, I'm going to shoot you, I'm going to kill you. But that gun will be mine, bullet will be mine, and the time will be mine. That's what the hero tells the villain with that gun. So, as a devotee, I feel Krishna is the original Rajkumar. And Krishna's original dialogue is Prabhu or Mataji, whatever. Prabhu, हम तुम्हें बचाएंगे, जरूर बचाएंगे. पर वो सिचुएशन भी हमारी होगी, वो प्लानिंग भी हमारा होगा, और वो टाइमिंग भी हमारा होगा. Krishna will say, Prabhu, I will protect you, but that situation will be mine, planning will be mine, and the timing will be mine. I will decide when to protect them. So Krishna is there, and Krishna loves us. We need to have that faith, and we need to see Krishna's protection doesn't mean we ignore the process. Process is also we have to follow, and from our side we do this. So what are the 6 things we need to do? First, tolerance. Second, you tolerate the noise. Second, inquiry, philosophical inquiry. Then, remembering Krishna's lotus feet. Then 4th, scriptures. 5th, Guru. And last, community. And if you say, Prabhuji, what if all this, what if I don't remember Krishna at the time of death? What an amazing assurance Krishna is giving. Now, this is not a license to not be serious in Bhakti. If you are sincere all your life, then you know what Krishna has assured what will happen in the last moment of your life. This is the most hope-giving verse I have found. Let us say you are very sincerely practicing. Then at the time of death, what Krishna will do? Yadi vatadi doshena madbhakta mam natasmaret aham smarami madbhakta kepiyanti paramgatim. Because of the imbalance of air and the mind being disoriented, the life force being in disarray. Yadi vatadi doshena madbhakta mam natasmaret. My devotee doesn't remember me. It's okay. Aham smarami madbhakta. I will remember that. Kepiyanti paramgatim. Krishna will take us back. So let us try now our best. And Krishna is there. Krishna loves us more than we love him. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. And please express our gratitude to Bihari and lead loud Hari Bol. We have some time, so if there is any questions, then you can raise your hand, and we'll here could bring the mic to you. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. I wanted to ask, you mentioned this point about developing a possibility or curiosity mindset. Can you help me understand how I can do that? It seems like my mind is very critical. I look at the world in that way. And so I wanted to get some very practical advice from you on how to
So the whole class was on how to practice spiritual life. One of them was to develop a curiosity mindset. And if I now answer that how, then the next question would be how to get that. So in ISKCON there are some questions called as how to do it questions. And the answer for all those questions is you do them by doing them. How to become sincere, Prabhuji? I have no answer for that. You become sincere by becoming sincere. How to develop a curiosity mindset? You develop. Instead of asking how, we should ask why. Why do you want to develop a curiosity in yourself? See, why we don't want to ask why? Because why is painful. The answer, because that is your answer. How you will get from scriptures all the time. Preachers will always tell you how, but why is your answer? I remember I used to preach in Mumbai many years ago, Borivali, and I gave a class on chanting. After the end of the class, somebody said, Prabhu, you gave on chanting, how do we chant Hare Krishna? So I spoke about that. He said, how do we chant? Because we have the beat and everything, but how do we actually chant? So I spoke about these three techniques Chandramouli Maharaj used, prayer, posture, and all of that. So then he heard it. And then next week somebody asked, Prabhu, you spoke about these techniques, but how do we practice those techniques? I said, you need to have a Sattva Guna lifestyle. I spoke about that. And next week somebody asked, Prabhu, how to become Sattva? Life is so difficult. But then I said, the following week, I said, Sattva Guna comes from slowing down your life. You need to slow down. Then the following week somebody asked, Prabhu, life is so fast, it's impossible to slow down. How do we slow down? Then I said, to try some breathing exercises. So I taught them the different types of breathing, journaling, and prayers. I call this as BJP technique. So I taught all of that, and then they were very happy. And the next week, somebody said, how do we follow this BJP method? It's so tough. So then I said, it's all useless, just chant Hare Krishna. In the following week, somebody said, how do we chant Hare Krishna? I said, listen, prayer, posture, and pronunciation. That is the best technique of it. And following week, somebody said, how do we develop that? I said, by bringing Sattva Guna. That goes on. Somewhere we have to break. I'm sorry, bro. I'm not trying to demean your question. I'm just saying that, I got tired of asking is how. So I realized I'm going nowhere. Then suddenly I started asking why. That was, my life changed dramatically when I started asking why. Why are you chanting Hare Krishna? I know many of you will raise your hands. And the answer we will give is, I'm chanting Hare Krishna because it is a dharma for Kali Yuga. Somebody will say, chanting Hare Krishna will give a love of Krishna. Third person will say, chanting Hare Krishna is the order of Srila Prabhupada. These are all public responses. I'm asking, what is the private response to this question? Why are you chanting Hare Krishna? One day I was chanting, I asked this question, then I wrote my journal, why am I chanting Hare Krishna? And the answers were very painful. I was driven by some fear, inadequacy, some superstition that if I chant, my material life will be better. These things, we don't want to be aware of certain inadequacies that we have. So if we have why clear, then how will manifest automatically? How will be revealed to us over a period of time? Because each one of us is a different how. But how will reveal if your why is clear? But still, you can develop curiosity mindset by practicing one type of hearing. If you want, I can say something very practical. Satchidanand Maharaj shared this, which is very, very useful. I wanted to give that technique later. First, I wanted to. So he says very nice. He says, first you hear any class or read anything. Hearing is what we commonly do, or reading. So then you ask the question, what did I hear now, or what did I read now? Answer that. After that, ask the second question. What did I learn from this? There's a difference between what did I hear and what did I learn. Once you answer that question, then you ask the third question. What can I apply from this? What are the three things? What did I hear? What did I learn? What can I apply? This is called Shravan, Manan, Nididhyasana. Is that okay? Yeah. I see Mataji. Okay. We'll take her question first. I see.
Face the truth, which is that was the next thing to bring, and we might, our material body. I wonder why. In fact, going to the word tolerance, in a sense, why is it we must tolerate anything, good or bad. And if we know we're going to leave the world, why is it we do many planning, future planning, getting married next year, have a child following on, because that's the expectations. You know,
No, we didn't tolerate everything. See, there's some things we can't resolve. We tell a tree to tolerate. Tree tolerates because the tree can't do nothing. If there are situations we can change. You can change, but then you will realize some things you cannot. We plan for our children's wedding because that's a duty. We all have been, we are part of the ashram. We do this duty sincerely, and then Krishna is the doer. Ultimately, Krishna does everything. Why are we chanting every day? We are doing all this so that Krishna is pleased, and eventually Krishna feels, okay, you have sincerely tried. See, our efforts and Krishna's mercy are independent. But there is some way we need to show our sincerity to Krishna. We do that. So we tolerate what we cannot change. But if we can add value, if we can help, and if we can improve the situation. Tolerance is not, it's not synonymous with irresponsibility. It's not that, okay, just face suffering. Or somebody is going through abuse. Seek immediate help. Tolerance is not that you just become a recluse, you just withdraw and you suffer within. That's not tolerance. That's not what you meant. Tolerate, what is that famous serenity prayer? God, give me the. What is that famous prayer? Lord, give me the strength to change the things I can, the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, and wisdom to know the difference. See, I'm talking tolerance in the context of many devotees have gone through this. That after some years we realize that I cannot change certain aspects of my life. I tried so much. And they keep trying. But then I realized, well, if some things you cannot change, that means it is not something to be changed, but it is a truth to be accepted. So there are some truths that we need to accept, and we don't and we are not able to accept that because we are constantly trying to change the situation. So in that context, we said tolerate. But you cannot tolerate your anarthas. Okay, I am anartha, so let me. It's not a license to be shameless. I cannot do anything about it. No. So we need to be sincere and move forward. And the results completely independent. Krishna has this amazing sense of humor. I'm chanting for so long, so many years. Krishna, when he feels merciful, okay, he'll give you mercy. And you're like, what did I do for this? There was a billionaire. He was asked, how did you become a billionaire? And he gave an amazing story. He said, I was poor, I was a beggar, I had nothing. And I had left home in the childhood, so I had nothing, I was very poor. I got an apple. Instead of eating that apple, I sold it for 2 rupees. And with those 2 rupees, I purchased 2 apples, then sold them for 5 rupees. Then I got 5 apples, then I sold them, and then I made a profit of 4 rupees. Then I got 10 apples, and then eventually I had 20 apples. And then I got the news that my very wealthy aunt, she left her body and she left all her property in my name. So I inherited a massive fortune. That's how I became a billionaire. So how do we go back home back to God? This is how we go back home back to God. I chanted 16 rounds that day, Prabhuji, and then I was going through this sickness. I chanted 16 rounds, and I did this sadhana, I did this bhajan, I tolerated this injustice in the community, I did all that. And then, what happened? Krishna took you, but that is not because I did this. Krishna chanted, so you take me, better take me. No. So we do all this tolerance, this discipline, commitment, sincerity to show Krishna, say I'm sincere. That is why I said tolerance is incomplete without remembering Krishna. It's dry. Okay, we'll end with the last question. Prabhu has got a question I want to give him.
Thank you for a wonderful class. My question is, because we are heavily under control of Maya. All our sadhana, spiritual practices, is to get freedom from Maya, places of Maya. Krishna created Maya in the first place.
The same question is always Satyananda Maharaj says, when he first met Srila Prabhupada, he asked him this question. He met him in London and he said, same question. I'll just repeat what Srila Prabhupada said. So Satyananda Maharaj asked him, he was a young brahmachari, he said, Srila Prabhupada, Maya is so causing all the problem. Why did Krishna create Maya? You know what Srila Prabhupada said? He roared. That Krishna did not create Maya, you created Maya. Because you have a desire to enjoy separately from Krishna. So when we Krishna Bahir Mukherjee, Bhogavancha Pare, Nikatastha Maya Tare, Japatiya Tare. We chose to go away from Krishna, then Maya Japatiya. Maya just caught us. So, and this suffering is what is that? Keshav Maharaj says, beautiful statement. Suffering is the beginning of serious inquiry. If we didn't go through suffering, we will not make the inquiry only. This question is coming because we're going through suffering. If everything was enjoyable, we will be like, we will be happy in the material world. There has to be suffering, and then we get kicks, and then we are like a person stuck in the well. We are trapped in a well, abandoned, dry well. And there is Prabhupada and this tradition community, Sadhu, Guru, Parampara, above. They're throwing a rope. They're telling us, come out of the well. This is the rope. Hold on to this rope. Come out. And you are saying, why I should hold the rope? This well is good. So then a snake comes and bites you. A scorpion bites you. There are bees, there are insects. And then you are uncomfortable. Then you hold on to the rope, no? Otherwise, will you hold the rope? You will say, well, it's good. There are devotees who are saying, okay, I will come out, but you pull me out. So Prabhupada is saying, hold the rope. No, I will not hold the rope. But at least hold the rope. So, and we are not, because we need two things to practice spiritual life. We need love from above, pulling from above, and we need kicking from below. Right? Kicking from below is suffering. And pulling from above is Srila Prabhupada's compassion. And that is the reason why Srila Prabhupada sometimes, he says rascal, the strong words he uses. And we sometimes criticize Prabhupada, criticizing. Why Prabhupada is always criticizing devotees? Some people. He's calling rascal. For this, because we are not realizing that we are suffering. Prabhupada said those who are suffering and enjoying sense gratification, they are mudha, fool. But those who know and still they are not practicing, vimudha, qualified fool. Rascal is somebody, fool is somebody who doesn't know good and bad. Rascal is somebody who knows and still doesn't practice. So we are suffering so that we get inspired to look out. Otherwise, we are happy in this well, small well. We need to get kicks. Krishna, I want you. I want Srila Prabhupada in Vrindavan, June 1976. He's having this room conversation. There is a debate, mock debate. Srila Prabhupada liked to debate with his disciples. So Srila Prabhupada is, all the devotees, they are pretending to be scientists and they are challenging Srila Prabhupada. Swamiji, you say life comes from Krishna, but science has proved life comes from chemicals. And Srila Prabhupada is saying, you rascal, where is the proof? Rascal. The question answer, Srila Prabhupada is using rascal so freely. So at one point of time, one disciple, that because he is now a scientist, he has been given the license by Prabhupada to debate with Prabhupada. So he asked a very challenging question. He said, Swamiji, why are you calling him rascal? Immediately, that is a very good argument actually. So now, Srila Prabhupada, in the heat of that argument, see, this is like the debate is going on intense, right? So when that debate is going on intense, you can't give a prepared answer. Spontaneously, Srila Prabhupada, when you said, why do you call us rascal? Srila Prabhupada, the immediate answer was, because I love you. This is what he said. I love you and I can't see you suffer in this material existence. That's why I'm telling you to practice Krishna consciousness. You understand, you rascal? So that's why Bhagavatam is strong language, because at least you are asking this question. Most people don't understand that they are suffering. And the best part of Krishna consciousness, I'll end with this. The best part of bhakti is if you remember Krishna's lotus feet, and as we are dying, that suffering that you've gone through, what will happen? That suffering phase will be the time when you would have cultivated emotional remembrance of Krishna. There is intellectual remembrance and there is emotional remembrance. Both are different. Intellectual remembrance is what I did just now. Showed up all the verses I memorized, and we quote left, right, center, connection between verses, 6 points. This is all intellectual remembrance. Emotional remembrance is how Krishna is there in my life, how Krishna has protected me, then how Krishna. All that remembrance of Krishna with emotions, that is emotional remembrance. So if you go through suffering, that is Krishna giving us opportunity to add emotional remembrance. And when we are dying, the best part, I've seen devotees say this, all that suffering I've gone through is worth it, Prabhu. And in the back end of their life, this is what many devotees have said this, because I experienced Krishna. Kunti Devi has gone to the extent of saying, Krishna, give me more suffering. We can't imitate. Please don't ever pray like this. In fact, I know devotees who memorize all prayers of Kunti, but they don't memorize this prayer. So they worry that if I'm chanting this verse, trying to memorize it, as I'm memorizing it, if Krishna hears it, I say, so be it. I'm going to get so much suffering. But that is because Kunti doesn't want suffering. Kunti wants what happened when she was going through suffering. Krishna gave her something, some experience. And that experience was so good that she is okay with getting that suffering again. Because she's going to get that also. Get it? What I'm saying? Like there was a boy in the slum area of Mumbai, an orphan boy. He had no mother, father, and he was growing up with other orphans and playing cricket one day. And he got seriously injured. He fractured his leg and he screamed in pain and he was rushed to a charitable hospital nearby, where a very kind-hearted nurse took care of him. And he was overwhelmed. He had never experienced a mother's love in his life. And he was like, wow, this is what is love. And then, of course, after a few weeks, he got cured. He went back to his slums. He started playing with his friends, cricket. And as he was playing, he kept looking at the direction of the hospital. So his friends said, what are you looking at? He said, I wish I get that fracture again. So his friend said, he was screaming in agony, you want to go through that again? And he said, yes. So you think he wanted that fracture? Why was he looking? Why was he saying he wants that fracture again? Because he got something from that nurse, that love from that mother. So that's why Kunti, when she went through all that, what a calamity. Her two sons are killing each other, Karna and Arjuna. What pain she must have gone through and what Krishna must have given her there that time, we don't know what it was. But she is willing to get that again. That means Krishna has something up his sleeve that we have only theoretical understanding. So what we can do from our side, this is the take-home request. Let us add emotional memories of Krishna rather than simply intellectual remembrance of Krishna. Means whatever you have gone through in life, connect some emotion to that event with Krishna. Then all our suffering will be put in proper perspective. Is that okay? We'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Bihari, okay. This is Prabhu's last public program before he leaves. He'll be leaving
Tomorrow morning I'm giving CC. Tomorrow morning I'm giving CC class.
Okay.
So tomorrow, that is the last over.
Prabhuji will be giving CC class each morning tomorrow at the temple as well. So you can watch that if you can't come, but you're welcome to come. It will be on temple broadcast program. We'd like to thank Bihari Prabhu. We might not get a chance tomorrow, but today we have a chance for taking his valuable time from his other services, spending just over 3 weeks with us here at Bhaktivedanta Manor. He has spoken on the Ramayana, he has spoken on Prabhupada, he has spoken so many valuable on Hanuman today, on the Srimad Bhagavatam, tomorrow on the CC. I'm sure you all very gratefully appreciate Prabhu, and we'd just like to mention also that we appreciate Prabhu's time coming out here like to express our thanks to the VCC team because it was the Volunteer Care Council who, invited Prabhu here. So we express our gratitude to them. For this evening, obviously, the Haveli team has been, some of you earlier saw there was an event going on in here, but they were very kind to make this space available for us. This is the perfect use of the Sri Krishna Haveli, also Manish Prabhu and the tech. So this was broadcast live as well, and you can replay it, relearn. But this is just the beginning of the year. We have many, many special devotees coming in the next few months. Gauranga Prabhu, Amolila Prabhu, all, Diggaz devotees coming. So please, we will be holding more Vaishnava Sadhu Sanga evenings like this. Please take advantage. I'm sure you will. But there is lots more to come. 2024 is going to be special. Just a couple of announcements. Next week, as you all will know, is Navami. So we all know about the festival on the 21st, but on the 17th, which is the marking of the actual day, we also have a program here. We have the morning program, which will go on till about 12 o'clock, where devotees, everyone can bring flowers for the deities, and there'll be a Pushpa Abhishek through the morning hours. And then from 4 o'clock, again in the Haveli, in the Kirtan hall, from 4 o'clock in the evening, again to about 8, there will be Abhishek, drama, and many other celebrations. So that's on the 17th. On the 21st, it is a ticketed event, so make sure you have a ticket. But there's all-day celebrations. We have our famous boat Leela. If Surya Narayan, today we heard Lotus Feet of Krishna like the sun. If Surya Dev dries up the front lawn, then we will have the boat in the lake. If Surya decides not to come out, we will still have a boat Leela, but our boat has wheels, so we will bring the boat Leela around the temple. So again, keep up to date on the schedules, and we hope to see you. Something we've started recently, just under a year. If you see the poster there, we have Sunday Love Feast going. Why I want to announce, because on the 28th of April this month, we start the morning session of the Sunday Love Feast as well. All information is there on the poster or on our website, but from 11:30 to 1, the ashram and the devotees from School of Bhakti will be running a Love Feast program again in the Haveli every Sunday from 11:30 to 1 o'clock. So please do come, take advantage of that. Thank you so much for your time. Once again, can we express our gratitude? This is very special life group. Please have a safe journey home. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Gaura Pramananda Hari Hari Bol. If you would like to help, we want to stack the chairs and just shift them